Welcome back to another episode of Why I Create. I'm your host, David Hay. Today, I'm joined by a truly unique voice in the music world, Freda Jane. Chloe is a singer, songwriter, and producer whose sound refuses to be boxed in. Drawing from electronic, experimental, and soulful influences, she creates music that is both atmospheric and deeply personal. Through her music, she is building worlds, challenging norms, and showing what it means to really own the art of not fitting in. In this conversation, we'll dive into her creative journey, the stories behind her music, and the passion that fuels her craft. Chloe, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, so my name's Freda Jane. I am a singer, songwriter, and sometimes producer as well.
That's really cool. And I know that you do some art as well, like painting or drawing,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. So I'm currently in art therapy at the moment. So it's a form of counselling. So but we use paint and art and drawing and things like that to help.
I've looked at some of your stuff on Instagram, and it's really impressive.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I don't think so, but
No,
thank
I
you.
mean,
I've got some of my art on the back there.
oh, that's what that
Um,
is.
yeah,
That's cool. Are those supposed to be like cherries, but in a heart shape?
yeah,
I
cherries.
love that. Wow.
Thanks. I don't know what it stands for. It doesn't mean anything really. It's just I liked the idea of it.
So let's start at the beginning. Do you remember the moment that you first felt connected to music?
Yeah. It would have been when it's quite cheesy really. Well, Titanic, the film. I
Oh,
loved
yes.
that film. Me and my friends used to play Titanic when we were younger. I know that's really sad, but
How do you do that? That's actually funny.
one of us used to be Jack and then the other would be Rose and then we'd just play and yeah,
Wow.
whatever. But no, that wasn't the reason. That was part of the story. Yeah, it was because of Celine Dion's song My Heart Will Go On and I just used to love singing it.
That's a great song. I
Yeah.
have yet to watch that movie. I mean, I know the song, but I haven't watched it yet.
Wow, get yourself watching that film now.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it tonight. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah, it is one of them all-time favorites of mine. I don't know, it's a classic really. I love Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate
Oh yeah,
Winslet, so
they're
you
so
can't go
good.
wrong.
I
Yeah.
liked I really liked him in Catch Me If You Can with Tom Hanks. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
He,
I didn't see the one that he won the Oscar with, where he's in the woods or something and he's been chasing by a bear.
I actually haven't seen that one either. I'm gonna have to
No,
look that up.
I know. I was rooting for him to win that Oscar, but I haven't actually seen the film.
Okay, well I mean that's a fan right there.
Yeah.
So you've described not always like fitting in artistically.
Yeah.
I was kind of like th wondering how has that shaped your approach to music or art in general?
It just that's a really good question. With my sound is I like to like push the boundaries a little bit. I like to kind of see, you know, a song not always verse, chorus, and then a bridge. I
Mm,
like to kind of switch things up, and then like say I'm genre fluid because like I love incorporating different genres in different sounds, and so it could be an
hmm.
R&B track, and then all of a sudden it'll turn folk. You know,
Yes.
I just love playing with sounds.
Well, that's funny you mentioned that because, and I don't think I wrote it down, but when I was doing some research, I noticed I was on your SoundCloud and
Mm.
there was this one song that I can't remember the name, but the way I described it was like country pop sort of vibe to it. Um,
Yeah,
I think, wait, did I write that down? Oh yeah, that was I Do. That was a song, your song I Do. And
I
then,
do. Oh yes,
yeah, and then the
yeah.
other one By Your Side, like I listened to those back to back and they're totally different.
Yeah, one's like a drum and bass, isn't it? I think.
Yes, yes. Yeah, the By Your Side one. I really like them
Yeah,
both, but I do kind of that one was I vibed with that one
yeah.
a lot more.
Oh, which one? I do.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
thanks. I love it.
I mean I listen to a lot of pop music. That's my
Yeah.
favorite genre
Well,
of
I've been listening
music.
to a lot of Noah Cyrus at the moment. I just really like her sound. I love how she can be sometimes using just a piano, a simple piano track, and then all of a sudden she'll incorporate all these big cinematic sounds in there, a bit
Hmm.
like Lana Del Rey.
Actually, a lot of the artists that are coming out now, they have their own sound. They don't really play into the mainstream pop sort of
Mm,
sound anymore, which I really
mm.
appreciate. So this is a question I like to ask a lot. What drives you to keep creating when it feels like, or if it felt like no one was listening?
Because do you know what it is? Is there's a BBC introducing Uploader in the UK, and if you've not heard of it, it's where artists, singers, producers, DJs can upload their work to BBC radio stations. So it's a
Mm.
great platform, and just to know that someone has listened to your track, that gives me motivation to keep going, really.
So what is your creative process usually like? Do you come up with lyrics first or like beat first, or do you just go off of feeling?
Yeah, I very much go off of a feeling. That is very true. I'm quite spiritual. I use connections with like spirituality and I like crystals and things like that. So I sometimes like light a candle before I, even record. But first of all, it comes with like the beat mostly for me. And then all of a sudden, quickly, I can get like words into my head. So I'll just hit play and just record something, write it down, and it just builds like that, really.
I kind of go the same route, but I don't go off a beat. I play the piano or the guitar. So
Mm,
if I just sit down and I play chords and I just play it like over and over, and then I come up
yeah.
with an idea. So I've never spoken to someone who like does crystals and candles. What is that like? What is I don't really know what to ask about that because I'm not familiar with it,
No,
but
no, it's fine. I'll just if I can just quickly
yeah,
grab
of
some
course.
sage, bear with me 1 minute. So sage is just like this is what sage is. It's just bought from a shop and you just light it and you just sort of if you're into like self-care and self-love and things like that and positive energy, it's just basically asking the universe to just surround you with positive energy whilst that is on fire. But it's not on fire. It's a little bit of smoke that comes out of it, but
Yeah.
it's all safe. It's all safe, so don't worry. Yeah, I just feel like it helps clear away anything that's not serving you.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's very interesting. Thank you for sharing that.
No, that's okay.
Um, so talking about musical influences, I know that most
Yeah.
people they look up to someone. Who would you look up to uh when it comes to
Hmm.
music? And then you do art as well. Do you have someone you look up to?
That's really a really good question. I mean, back about 10 years ago, I did used to have like someone I used to look up to. They were in the industry at the time, but I don't think they're releasing music anymore, or if they are, it's not very often. But that sort of mindset of mm, wanting to be like someone, or not wanting to be like them, but just kind of like aspiring to be doing the same sort of music as them. Is that if that makes sense? I don't
Yeah.
really have that anymore. I don't mean for it to sound a bit sad, but like I just kind of focus on myself and what my sounds like. And then just yeah, go from there really. But I don't really have anyone that I kind of follow and admire as such anymore. I just sort of do my own thing.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting because what I have observed recently is um people start off with someone they look up to, and then
Mm,
obviously like you kind of grew out of that and you found your own sound. So like a stepping
mm,
stone, you do have to start somewhere. You do have to have an example of
mm,
um of what you like. But then
yeah,
once you're used to doing music and you do it or whatever it is,
yeah,
you'll find your own way. And you're
yeah.
totally correct. You have a very unique sound. I've never heard it before. Um,
Wow, thank you.
and it's very interesting, very captivating sort of sound.
Mm,
Like it's very how would I describe it? Like sometimes it can be very atmospheric and
mm.
otherworldly, I guess, kind of
Yeah,
sound.
thank you. I really appreciate that. I
No, of
mean,
course.
I've heard that my music sounds a little bit like Aurora, but I haven't actually listened to her myself. But apparently, she's one of the artists that I sound like. I
I
don't
need to look her up
know.
because I know that I've heard that name as well. Is it
Yeah.
true that you self-produce your own music?
Yeah, I started, I think it was like beginning of this year. I just was talking to someone again in the industry, I tend to sort of gravitate towards people who I feel like I could speak to that are really more down to earth in the industry like that
Hmm.
in music. And so I asked for their opinion. I was like on this song and blah blah blah. And then they said, well, maybe you should try producing. And I was like, okay, so where do I start? And they were like, Ableton. It's quite popular. So I just spent hours. I mean, I was up all night. I'm not even joking. Just like figuring it out. And I didn't stop. And I didn't let it stop me. And then I just used Splice, which is like a place where you can download royalty-free samples, so it's all cleared. So there's no comeback on you if you were to release it or anything.
Hmm.
It's all good. And I just basically just drop and drag them into the DAW, which is Ableton.
Digital audio workstation.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's it. And I just create the sounds by just blending them together, and I can't say it's all me because some people that are doing these samples are amazing at what they do, obviously.
Hmm.
So I just try my best to make
I
it
mean,
work.
but you blend them together. I mean, that's also a very unique ability to have, to be able to hear someone else's sound and then use it for what you want to use
Mm,
it for. Bend it to
yeah.
your will, basically. Which song really in your catalog has felt the most personal or vulnerable, and why?
Again, a very, very good question. I'm just trying to think. There is a song that's got like 11,000 something listens on SoundCloud, which
Wow.
kind of blew up in a year, yeah. And it's called Got a Lot of Love, and it's a drum and bass trap. I think that song, I didn't produce it myself, this one, but when I was in the studio, I really felt like I'd overcome quite a lot of insecurities about performing, and I felt like I was really going for it in the studio, and I just let go. And um, yeah, I think that's probably why it reached so many people, because
Hmm.
I was coming from an honest place, not only like from a vocal point of view, but from like a writing point of view as well. It's just about trusting the process,
Hmm.
and also aligning yourself with your core beliefs and values. And I know it might sound a bit wishy-washy, but at the end of the day, it's down to you and your vision and your creativity. So
Very true.
you mustn't put up those barriers for yourself, let them come down and just work on whatever it is.
So how do you define success for yourself right now? Uh, Not really in numbers, but in creative terms.
Yeah. I was going to say my numbers um fluctuate all the time with some of my
Mhm.
tracks. Success in my creativity. Is that I keep going and I don't let anyone hinder my progress. Like I have like one or two people in the industry that probably don't like me, and probably I might be a threat to them or something. And I'm not going to say who they are because that would be unprofessional.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't let it bother me. Like I turn up, I show up. That is what it's about. I show up to networking events. And I read somewhere that like it's not about how successful you're going to be or want to be. It's about just showing up and
Mhm.
and just being there. And people start to know who you are, and make your voice heard. Like, I love asking panelists questions, management, producers, people on radio, and I find it so interesting just hearing what they've got to say. So as long as you make sure your voice is heard, whether it be playing the piano or writing a song, it doesn't have to be singing. You just make sure you do that, and yeah, you'll get somewhere, I hope.
What kind of listener do you hope to reach with your music, and what would you want them to feel when you're writing a song? What's kind of your vision, I
Mm.
guess, of what you want someone to feel when they hear it?
I really want people to be open-minded when they listen to my music. I want them to be like not just obsessed with music, but just like it make it a part of their life, like it
Mhm.
is for me, like an everyday thing. And and someone that gravitates to my music will hopefully be in that way inclined. And I want them to feel like, okay, when I say it changes up, it switches up, in the
Hmm.
track. Um I've done a few performances where people react in the crowd and they're like, Okay, what's going on here? So I really want to, I love surprising people as well. I love
Yeah,
being that underdog.
I really like that. I really like that answer. I was looking at your SoundCloud and I see that you're releasing singles very regularly. There's a lot of
Yeah,
singles regular. Do you have an album kind of being built right now? Are you in the process of doing that, or is that something you think of doing in the future?
I would love to create a cohesive piece of work, um, as an album or something like that. But right now, I'm just trying to. I'm not sure if I'm chasing something or what I'm chasing, but I feel like I'm just chasing a vibe and I'm just going with the flow, and that's why I'm so putting music out regularly,
Mhm.
as such. But I don't know when I'll make an album. I just think I love uploading too much at the moment, so I need to
Yeah.
stop.
Well, no, please keep putting them out there. I've followed you on SoundCloud and also on Spotify. So if someone is just discovering your music today, what would be the song that you would point them to?
Okay. The song that I would probably point them to is quite a recent one. I'll just try and find it on my SoundCloud because I have
Okay.
so many songs.
Yes, you
It's
do. You
hard.
do.
It's hard to just pinpoint one at the top of my head, but I will do my best. It's a piano-driven track. Just give me 1 second. Where I Do Belong. Let me go back
Where
to
do you
you.
belong?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that name.
Where I Do Belong. Yeah, I just that was about, I think I had a psychosis moment of psychosis, not when I wrote the song, but when the thing happened to me,
Mhm.
the event or whatever. And so I just came to a realization of that recently. And so some of my best work can happen when I'm not exactly mentally aware.
Yeah.
I do suffer from like stress-induced psychosis and things. I'm happy for you to put that out there. It's not a biggie.
Okay.
But I do want to raise awareness of people's mental health, so I think that's
Yeah.
quite important.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And now that you mentioned that, yes, I do remember listening to the lyrics on that one. That was like maybe two or three releases ago, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that one was a very good one. I really that one actually caught my ear. I really like that one.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So finally, what would you say to other artists who feel like they don't fit into the mold, like musically, personally, or creatively? That is not how you say that word.
Yeah,
Creatively.
yeah. I would say that it would be time to like, if you want that time out, that space to just find out who you are as a person, that's a good idea. I mean, I love having spaces in between when I do have spaces in between releasing
Hmm.
music. Um, and most of the time I think it's self-reflection and a lot of like inner work. So maybe writing a journal or reading some really positive books, like nonfiction and all that sort of thing, like self-help and that.
Hmm.
And then I would say when I've done all of my inner healing or working on myself, sometimes actually the best work you can do is while you're in the middle of all of that. So give it a go. You don't know what you're going to come out with. Instead, don't overthink about it and just do it.
Yeah, that is very true. Actually, that is very true because when you listen to mainstream artists and they talk about one of their biggest songs, they say it was just a moment of inspiration, something they were just going through that they just sat down
Yeah.
and wrote the song in 10 minutes. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I have put myself out there quite a lot this year. Like I've applied for like this thing called Amplify, with Electric Bear Studios in Mansfield in Nottingham, and
Okay.
they are doing like an artist development program, which is backed by the Creative Council England or something like that. I'm not sure which one, but I've put my name forward for that, and I'm really hoping that I'll get an opportunity to do something like that because I've worked so hard over the over the years. I
Yes,
still
yeah.
do. So that would really help. And also I've applied to Radio 1 Extras sort of what is it? It's like an 8-week program where you are a trainee and you sort of follow them around and help out in the studios and meet
Hmm.
people and network and
Whoa.
things like that. So I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that, someone out there will.
That sounds really cool. That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
thank you,
lovely to
Chloe.
speak to you.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's conversation with Chloe Freda Jane. If you haven't already, make sure to check out her music on Spotify and follow her journey on social media. Chloe, thank you again for sharing your story. And for everyone tuning in, thank you for listening to Why I Create.